3, 2, 1.
Yes.
G'day
And welcome back to the club. That's right. Club Prairie Fire, the home of Tequila, Tabasco, and the Duckworth Lewis Stern system. I am the Professor, and currently I am on holiday in Far North Queensland, dealing with grumpy children and angry bogans at the swim-up bar. I'm losing on both fronts, to be honest. As always, lots has happened in the world of cricket. India defeated South Africa in the second test in the second session on the second day. Zimbabwe and Sri Lanka played out a thrilling no result, and Australia completed an expected 3-0 victory against Pakistan. But all that is inconsequential, as the biggest news of the day was the sun setting on the test career of one of Australia's elite batsmen of all time, David Warner. So where to now for Dave? What does test and ODI retirement look like? Will the T20 World Cup be his last outing for his country? How were the post-test celebrations? And where on earth was those baggy greens? Well, lots of questions to ask Dave, and guess what? You'll never bloody believe it, but Gilly's jagged another one. That's right, he's done it again. We have the man of the moment coming on this podcast, David Warner, very shortly, so we'll get into all of that with Dave. Now, let's bring them in. They are in the studio in Sydney. It is Adam Gilchrist and Michael Vaughan. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you both?
Hello there.
Morning.
Very well.
That's good. Now, Gilly, obviously I am up here. I am in holiday mode. My head's just not in the game, really. So I thought today...
It's a very interesting time to take holidays, Prof. In prime time, when we're trying to establish a cricket podcast in the prime of summer, and you disappear for a holiday. Well done.
Yeah. Well, that's how I roll it. So I said to my wife didn't want to go. I said, we've got to go. I've got to let these blokes down. I said, I've got a reputation.
Can you just explain to me, you did describe the people up there in Queensland as bogans. What is a bogan?
Yes. I think a bogan for you from northern England is it a Ned where you are, or a chav?
A chav? a Ned? I mean, what's a Ned?
I think a Ned might be even further north. A Ned might be Scotland, is it?
I've never heard of a Ned. A bit of a chav. So they wear tracksuits, do they, in Queensland?
Tattoos bordering the face, so up to the neck. Up here, they drink a lot of 4X Gold.
For breakfast.
For breakfast.
Do you have do you have the in-pool bar where you sit in the pool?
We do, and there is a nice distinct cloud of yellow that just floats around that bar. It's funny because it's a bit of a meeting of the bogans. So I've met some bogans from Melbourne, bogans from Sydney, bogans from WA, Gilly, a few bogans from over there. It's wonderful, and everybody just likes to neglect their children together as they get pissed at the bar and the kids.
Hey, mate, I don't want to jump the gun here, and I hope this all pans out the way we plan it to, but I've just got a message. You mentioned that we're hoping to have the man of the hour, the man of the year, really, D. Warner, on the program very, very shortly. He's just messaged me, and Prof, in that little intro, you said, what next for D. Warner post-retirement? He's just messaged, said, mate, might need a fraction more time. I'm just taking the kids to school. So there you go. He's straight into dad duties. So that's hot off the press. D. Warner, 2 days after retirement, is on the school run.
I thought it was school holidays.
No, school. Well, that's fucking... What is he on about?
School holidays, isn't it? He's got that completely wrong.
What is he?
One of these serious tiger parents that's got his kids going to summer school. Is Dave all about education?
Mate, I follow the Warner sisters on Instagram. He'll be taking them to a sports camp. They play every sport going. I think they're going to create their own sports.
I'm just going to reply back and just say school holidays ? And we'll see what we get back.
Tennis. I reckon they're going to tennis. They're good tennis players. They play a bit of cricket. I think they do a bit of AFL as well, but I bet it's tennis.
What about those old photos of Davey as a youngster? Jesus, they look like him.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Absolute little mini replicas. But we'll get to that. Davey Warner coming up, hopefully. Prof, what else? Where's Ollie?
Ollie's here. Ollie's down in Melbourne. Just so before we get into Ollie, I'm on holiday, so I am handing over the reins to you today, Gilly. I'll try my best not to interrupt, only if I have something very interesting to say, which there's very little chance of that. So you drive today.
All right.
And we'll see how we go.
We'll give it a crack. But okay. Well, I'll assume oh, hang on. Got a bite back from Davey just before we get 1 day care and 2 others going surfing.
Surfing, I knew it was something.
So he's shipping one of them out,
Yeah.
the youngest one. You go and have a good day with the little
Yeah.
kids at daycare. The others can go and bloody get in the green room, bloody start hanging 10. And I reckon, rightly so, he's probably taking Candace out somewhere nice for lunch. Maybe somewhere down the Coogee.
Down the Coogee, maybe Little Jack's on the corner there. Always a lively joint, good live music.
You tore that up the other night.
Yeah, we had a go at that on Saturday. Thanks to Australia winning quite quickly.
If you
Nice job.
A nice touch, as you say. All right, well, Prof, we'll come to you when we need you, mate, but outstanding. Don't walk away and get distracted by the bar outside, the pool bar and all the bogans and the chefs and the nets.
Is it Prof, is it all-inclusive there?
Not for us, no. I believe there are packages, but I'm currently working on this podcast that doesn't have any sponsors. I don't know if you've heard.
Where's our Hawks beer? We haven't even got that from last time.
No,
I
it's
can
gone.
see a hat sitting in the studio here, but that's it. There's an empty tin.
We've still got poor Hugo's batting gloves on the table. We've got some old stumps here. Look at these little things. They're beach stumps, those, aren't they? You need these on your holidays, pro.
Is it
Maybe for whacking some bogans round the Swede.
They look like the size of a kebab off Darren Lehman's barbecue, I reckon, for a bit of chicken satay or something. But
Someone might have left a phone number there for you to call.
I'm not ringing any number that you provide me with. All right, beautiful. We'll stay on the line there, mate. We'll keep you in touch, but we'll get to Ollie. Ollie, I do not have any idea where Ollie is, but Ollie, come in, Ollie. Where are you, mate?
I am here. I am in Melbourne. I am working. I'm looking for sponsors. We ran out of Sydney. We tried everyone, so I've had to move. Rainy Victoria behind me. And it's also for a week of recovery because I went to the cricket on Friday. And it was just one of the great days of all time. That last Hazelwood over is up there with one of the best sort of atmospheres I've been around. So I'm on the just waters, recovering. My main job, as well as finding sponsors, which is a very short update because there are none, is the socials, of course. And we've had some good ones from the last episode. People are excited. This is obviously season 8 because it's the first time you two are in the studio and us two are away. So that starts a new season. So there's been a lot of hype around that. But there were a couple of comments from the last show. One was on YouTube from Vaughany. Vaughany said, the best podcast, truly love everyone and how they come together. Hope you guys grow bigger, but never lose the originality and homely feeling of these discussions with 6 love hearts. Now, that was a lovely message. We then get Ryan Tout reply to that. Ryan Tout 9858 on YouTube. This is like when you turn up to a family reunion, you have no idea what anyone's talking about, but fuck, it's funny and to continually watch it. So there was some standout comments. And one other thing happening a lot at Club Prairie Fire socials is guest requests. We had Mohammed Hafiz last time, and a big fan of the show, Kate_L24 on Instagram, says, love this episode. When can we get Brett Lee on? That's gigs. So that's the social update so far.
Brett Lee would be very good for our Indian following.
He would be.
He can speak a few languages, can Brett?
He does. He rolls the Hindi off the tongue.
He likes a bit of Hindi. He can sing in Hindi.
Yep. Yeah, he had a number 2 hit. I reckon he hit the chart.
It's a good song. It's a good song, that.
I wouldn't say that, but
it's a good song. It's a good song. If you, it's on YouTube, isn't it? If you YouTube Brett Lee Hindi hit, just have a listen. It's magnificent.
What's our handles again? Let's get this out early because I'll forget to do it later on. At Club Prairie Fire.
It is at Club Prairie Fire. You can find us. But we also, so do send in everything on all platforms. I'm going to give a shout out to one of the great tweets actually on social, which wasn't us. It was Daniel Cherney, and it's relevant because of our guest today.
Yeah.
He tweeted 2007, Warner retires from Test cricket at the SCG. 2024, Warner retires from Test cricket at the SCG. Test cricket needs to survive long enough for Warnist to complete the set in 2041. So keep an eye out for a Warnist up and coming in the next few years.
Oh, dear. That's very good, very good. Hey, so that day, you're spot on, mate. That over of Hazelwood, Vaughany, we were there. You were on air with Smithy.
Yep, I was on the call. Yeah,
I was on with you guys at the start of the over.
That's right.
When he came on. No, first ball was Shaquille Nick.
The big booming drive.
He dangled his bat out. Shaquille, and then so that meant. Oh, the rain parrots tell me about rain. But anyway.
It was one of that over was tremendous bowling, but it was one of the great Nightwatchmen performances by Sajid Khan.
Yeah, so
that's what I want my Nightwatchman to bat like.
so set the scene. Ollie's been there all day out in the what effectively were you where the hill would have been in the old days?
Yeah, we somehow accidentally stumbled across the loosest stand I've ever been. And for some reason, security weren't kicking people out, which was nice for, when you do a drink, and we did it all very responsibly.
Well, that finally Test cricket's got something right, because we can ill afford to start kicking people out of the ground at Test cricket. We've struggled to get them in, so we don't want to boot them out. But
you were very lucky, Ollie, that they didn't go off for brightness or something, because generally in Test cricket, they just go off these days.
Mate, a scrumpled up bit of black gaffer tape held a whole test match up, an international broadcast. 10 minutes. For 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
But Ollie, you sent me a photo. There was a fan there of mine. We'll put this up on socials. What the hell did he have on his shirt? Something that slightly resembled a combination of my name of Gilchrist, Gilchurch, and I don't know, whatever else you want to. Did you have a chat with him?
We had a very quick chat with his teammates. So they play last man stands, which is a great cricket competition all over the world, sort of 8-a-side, 100 balls, slogathon, with some special rules. He plays for them, and apparently he just always slicks back his hair, but he's the big hitting left-hander, so they call him Adam Gelchrist.
That makes sense now. The spelling of the name is extraordinary, but very good, very good.
Ollie, can I ask you, your day at the cricket, can you just give me a rundown of how it works? You know, what time do you get up, what you have for your breakfast, and when does the kind of hydration start, and what happens throughout the day?
Yeah, I'm glad you've asked, actually. It was my first time with the new commute from Bondi, so it was only a 12-minute Uber, so that made it a lot easier than the old manly move on the ferry.
Oh, so hang on, you got new digs. You got somewhere, you're not bed hopping anymore?
No, I've been there a week, with I love Shane and Leela from London, so we're really taking over.
Excellent.
We're doing the walks, we're doing Vaughany's walks.
Wait a minute, what did you just say? Shane and Leela, what's that?
Leela.
You found a girlfriend, or is that some...
No, it's a third room. No girlfriend. Girlfriend.
So what's the policy, what's the house policy should, on the very, very unlikely chance Raya come good for you? Are they open? Is it an open door philosophy, or are you got to sort of play off?
Do you have to book in the flat to yourself just so you can entertain in a more private way?
Maybe wear the white shorts and play the away game.
No, well, it hasn't been discussed too much. Everyone is single, so I might be stealing their stories for updates. But no, we have the usual rules, which is a pineapple sticker on the door. Just means you're busy.
Pineapple sticker. Come on, Ollie, give us your day at the cricket. How does it work?
Let's go.
That was it. Rolled in, found my new local. He does a phenomenal, what was it? It was chorizo and halloumi bun. That was breakfast.
Ooh, very posh.
Because it was early start. It was 10 a.m. start. So that was about 9 a.m. Jump in the Uber. And then we always at the cricket do the tap challenge at the SCG. So you have to have one of the 12 on offer. Some are mid-strengths, which is a shame, but you make your way left to right, going through each of them. So you do that. Then it was lunch. So that was good. And then I came back too, and I remember Hazelwood getting 3 in the last overs. It was a great day out. And then we ended up obviously in Paddington somewhere. I think we started the Olympic and then hit the dance floor, maybe the Unicorn from memory. So it was a great
I'd love
day.
to have seen some footage of you all on the dance floor. What time do you reckon you finished your last move?
Well, I saw the Uber receipt. It was about 3:43. I got home.
3:43.
Yeah.
So, into day 4.
Yeah. I left to get an Indian home diner. If they want to sponsor it, it's the best Indian in Australia. And then had to get a plane to Melbourne for sponsor finding the next morning. So that was tough. But we're here. We're alive. And can't wait to do it again, probably for a West Indies test somewhere.
Well, that's brilliant. It sounds pretty much typically like a day for the Fox Sports commentary crew, actually. That's the way Vaughany starts his day down the Coogee. But
so you got let's just go back to you got a 12th before lunch, did you all?
It was during the lunch break because I had to wash down the lovely chicken tenders, which were put on. Yeah, so it was great.
Good effort. 12th. That's by 1:10.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, anyway, we mentioned it a few times. Yeah, so Shaquille, first ball, Hazelwood, Pat goes to him with, about 10 minutes till stumps.
Yeah.
Says, Josh, take it for a spin.
Yeah.
You might get 2 overs here. So
Yeah, but let's just start with Shan Masood. So in that dressing room, what happens is, you're batting late in the day. You decide upon, don't you, as a team, do you need a night watchman? You then go to your batters who are waiting, the proper batters. Would you like a little bit of a comfort blanket?
A little bit of protection.
Do you want someone to go out there and basically bat for you? And obviously they said, yes, Sajid Khan in the dressing room, I'm the man. I am that man.
Curl the mo.
I'm that man. And he strolled out there, and Richie Richardson in the 80s used to play the greatest cut shot of all time. And Sajid Khan, he turned himself into Richie Rich.
Yeah. So
he plays the almighty Yahoo, misses it. If I was down the other end at that stage, I think I'd have been strolling down saying, all right, what about just trying to defend? And he did. He tried to defend the next ball, and it just knocked his off stump out. He should have gone flying. He should have been playing more aggressively. The Nighthawk.
The Nighthawk.
The Nighthawk, Stuart Broad, who's obviously disappeared now, but England are onto something with the Nighthawk.
Oh, I think so. It reminds me of it. We had a night watchman in grade cricket back in Perth Cricket Club, and he went in to protect the number 3 before stumps, before coming back for the next weekend. He got caught on the boundary at long leg, 6 off 2 balls. and wondered why we were a little bit disgruntled with his performance, but it was an attacking performance. Sajid should have kept up that philosophy.
Absolutely, it's one of the great kind of decisions in cricket and motions of the game, isn't it? The night one. It's like being in a big court case, isn't it? And you get down to the last 20 minutes, the most important aspect, and then you just change your lawyer. The most important part, the hardest part of the case. All right, we'll send in someone else. And by the way, and that person isn't even a lawyer; he's a builder.
Yeah, get your most unskilled at that actual role and send him in.
The key moment. Who's the worst at doing that role? Fuck it, send them in.
But what about the bloody speculation around when Australia had to bat for that 1 over?
Oh yeah,
and we thought Nathan Lyon was going to come out and protect the openers. He was going to face the last over, but completely got it wrong. And Davey comes out and hits the first ball for 4. But so Shaquille, Nick, dot ball to Saj, clean rip next ball. Yeah. So it's wicket, dot, wicket.
Yep.
Salmon
plays a
comes
nice
in.
defensive first ball. He looked nice.
Yeah.
Straighter ball, down the wicket, lovely.
Ian Smith, as is typically the way, like commentary perfection, says, I don't reckon Hazelwood's done yet.
Yeah.
Next ball, bang.
Yeah.
Nicks it to
He's starting
Warner.
to get on my nerves, Ian Smith.
Oh, no, he's getting a bit good.
He's too fucking good.
He's getting a bit predictive text, it's like, isn't it? Like, it's just too bloody
the
good.
Kiwis don't win much, but Jesus Christ, he wins every time, doesn't he?
On that, we should get Smithy on.
Yeah.
Real soon.
It cost a lot, though, to get him on.
What?
We got any budget,
Catering?
Al? Any budget for Ian Smith?
Yeah, just speaking to Just Water, let you know in the morning.
He doesn't drink water, buddy. I promise you that.
What about that Hawk stuff? But that Hawk stuff's a bit. It's not that strong, is it?
It's light stuff.
They've got some strong ones. Yeah.
What about the Prime Minister, the old Prime Minister? He came on the show, didn't he, Johnny Howard?
He did. He did. He was on the lunch show with you.
He did, and he just walked off.
He just stood up and walked
off. He came
off.
on and then just disappeared. I mean, I know he's been the PM, but you can't just leave the lunch show when you want.
Yeah. No, he stormed out. That was good entertainment. The result, 3-0. Fair indication of the series.
I'll be dead honest. I thought I always thought it was going to be 3-0.
I was like Junior. I thought it was going to be 4-0 actually.
Well, yeah, I thought it might have been 4-1 at like halfway house. But I have to say, I thought Pakistan played nicely.
They dug in, didn't they?
I thought Australia would absolutely hammer them.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, MCG, if they'd have caught, they'd have probably won that game. Yep. And this week at the Essex, if they'd have caught, they might not have won. Australia may have chased 250, but it was a lot closer than expected. Mohammed Hafiz, I mean, I've had a bit of banter with him in the past, but there's something about the way he's operating that I like. He's very positive. He's talking to the players in a very straight fashion. He got rid of Iman al-Haq. Saim Ayub, he might have only got to get 34 in the second innings.
He looks good,
we're gonna promote him on this podcast.
Yep.
He is going to be potentially the next big thing in world cricket as a batter.
Actually, I think you're spot on. I think we are going to tag
I like him.
We're going to jump on him like an Alabama tick and ride his career. Okay, so we are. That's a good point.
Ollie, we're going to ride him.
Follow him closely, Ollie. We are on. I suspect probably not yet for the ambassador role. I think Travis Head.
Well, Sajid Khan is a contender.
Thrown his hat right in the ring
with
there.
That tash, that was a very, very immaculate tash.
I can tell you, I was fortunate to go to one D Warner's post-match party.
Was he there?
T Head was there, and he's endorsing the product beautifully. So, so he's still our number one seed. But no, same Ayub. Absolutely, he is our man.
Yeah, what I like about you, so you went to the big party on the Saturday night, yeah?
Yep.
So you and all the Aussies were there?
Yep.
So what I like to know is, the dance floor. Who was the first Aussie on the dance floor?
Unsurprisingly, D Warner.
D Warner, thrown out a few. Well, he's good at
Don't worry about the dance floor. He was just on the table.
Oh, was he? Was he?
We'll ask him about the entertainment that he had there. It's quite extraordinary, really.
Any of the others jump on the floor?
Oh, the Bison takes it for a spin.
Does he?
Yeah, it was hard for him to dance having Mark Howard wedged up his ass, but other than that, he moved pretty well.
Was Howie up his arse there as well?
You wouldn't know with Howie, he's so thin, but he's keen on the Bison, isn't he?
Oh, he loves the Bison, yeah, he does. He likes a lot of the Australian players. He's very, very pro-Australia, which he has to be. He's an Australian.
Do you see
sticking your head up his arse is probably a bit too far.
Geez, we bounce around. There's a lot to talk about, but on Howie, the current Australian players, like domestic cricketers, were asked best Big Bash commentator.
Howie.
Howie's come in at number one.
Number one seed.
Jesus. Prof.
Gilly.
Yeah, mate.
I just wanted to ask you, I noticed when, obviously, magic moment, Dave Warner comes off the SCG for the last time.
Yeah.
And I noticed that you managed to get into the captain's seat.
Yeah. I tied Howie up out the back.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, was there anybody else skulking around? Was it Howie? Was he trying to get in there?
Yeah. That black gaffer tape that held the game up, I went and got that and made sure that I had that on Howie because he does find a way into most magical moments, doesn't he, Howie?
Yeah.
But shitting bricks. That's what it is when you're sitting there knowing that it's about to finish up for a great career, a great champion. And I got no idea what I said, but you're sort of half trying to look out the window live, but you're also trying to be conscious of the pictures that people at home are only seeing. But it was a emotion-fueled game, really, coupled with Jane McGrath Test match, everything that goes with that. So, big. And then also on our coverage, Prof and Ollie and Vaughany, you were there and saw it. Roy's kids come in. Andrew Simon's beautiful little kids, Chloe and Will, came in to say good day. Laura, their mum brought them in, and that was bloody emotional. So there was plenty on offer in the Sydney Test match, no doubt.
Yeah, it was a big week. It was, and the most when you talk about all the the foundations and all the great work, I thought this week for Test cricket was a week where it kind of proved that Test match cricket. That day that you were there, Ollie, as you said, it was one of the great days.
Yeah, a
fight back, 5 for 10 Australia. And then all of a sudden, Pakistan have this collapse towards the back end of the day. And the roar in the crowd, you give me that roar of a Test match roar over any other format. There's no other format you get that same roar.
Yes,
you just don't get it. Don't get it. So we might have had a few delays, and there was delays. I mean, Babar Azam's delay was the best delay to get a piece of chewing gum. He delayed the game by 3 minutes just to get a bit of chuddy. I mean, I've never seen a tape for 10 minutes, chewing gum for 3 minutes. I mean, we have all the usual delays that you get these days just for nothing. But to think that we lost 3 minutes for Baba to go and get a piece of peppermint, remarkable.
Yeah, it was everything that Test cricket provides us that is so positive and why we love the game. Right, I think we have really barely touched on anything significant, but it is time.
Is the bull here?
Is the bull in? Is the bull in? Oh, hang on, I think I can see him there. There he is.
Yeah, look at you professionals.
Mate, we're a slick machine, buddy. Oh, look, normally, now, mate, welcome. Normally, the professor does a wonderful intro for our guests, but I've got the reins today, and I've put down a couple of things here, mate, that he's a guy that, well, holds the key to the biggest mystery, the biggest story in Australian cricket. Clearly, where were the baggy greens? He shares a commonality with me, Vaughany, this bloke, having both been tremendously discarded and kicked out of the town of Hyderabad in India by an IPL franchise. I haven't been banned on social media from my old franchise, but I was run out of town by the mighty Deccan Chargers after winning a title for him, and so too did this man. He won a title for his franchise and then got booted out of town and blocked on social media.
Well, are you blocked on social media? Well, Deccan are gone now, aren't they?
Well, I think their owners are now in jail. I think, allegedly. So that tells you a little bit about that setup. But he also, what he did do, the other commonality that we have is we both played for the Middlesex Panthers.
Oh, the Panthers, yeah.
Depending on how you say it. It might be the Middlesex Panthers or the Middlesex Panthers. But anyway, whatever the case, we did play T20 cricket for Middlesex way back in 2010, I reckon. But welcome, David Warner, you legend. You are a champion taking the time to talk with today. Congratulations, mate. On a remarkable career, a fairy tale finish. It was an absolute pleasure to be down there and watching and a part of it. And, well, more importantly, are the waves right for the girls? Are the conditions good?
They are. I'm just sitting here having an Irish coffee right now. They've gone down the beach. Got the cleaners in, and Candace is dropping off some dry cleaning. So I've got the morning off.
Very nice, very nice. So 48 hours or so after the event, mate. What's the emotion? What are you feeling, buddy?
Feeling lots of love. A lot of people have reached out, and it's much appreciated. And I think it's starting to sort of just sink in now emotionally that I am retired. I don't feel physically retired because I'm still going to be playing different format. So, but look, it's been an amazing journey. As I said the other day, like, it's a privilege to play for your country, but to play that many games with, greats of the game, it's been absolutely amazing.
Davey, Vaughany here. The 4 days at Sydney, of all the 4 days, which were the hardest days to kind of get through?
I think that one where we're at the bat 3 minutes, 1 over. I think that was probably the hardest to get your head around it. I'm like, I hope this just doesn't happen one more time. Like, I'm looking at Uzi, and I said to Uzi, mate, we've got an hour to bat here. And all of a sudden, they just kept batting, kept hitting fours, kept hitting sixes, kept on, piling on the runs. And I said, Uzi, it's going to get down to this last 10 minutes. I bet you any money here. And they got to 20 minutes, and I said, Uzi, how do we slow this down a little bit? And then lo and behold, 3 minutes to go, hits one down the throat. Oh, gosh. There was no nerves. It was just like, oh, okay, of course, final fitting, how good.
Did you seriously at any point think, shit, I could get knocked over here? Like, that's a
Definitely.
horrible. It would be a horrible thing to happen in my last test. All the focus and that, I could get nipped out.
My focus was when Uzi asked me, do you want to face it? And I said, yes, because that's what everyone's here for. And two, if I get out, everyone's there and could potentially just clap me off. So, they've got the best of both worlds.
Hey, David, just tell me, throughout your career, you've had some great moments. You've had to come back from some controversial moments. And then this week, you just always seem to be able to focus on the ball and watch them react. How do you do that? What kind of message can you send to youngsters in the game that you have this amazing ability to just play the ball?
I've just always seen the game as a game with mates, and I've never taken it too serious. And I think I've talked to some players in the past, and they suffer with some nerves and anxiety around certain things when they go out to bat or before they go out to bat. And I've never really had that feeling. So I think when things happen off the field and I go on the field, I feel like I'm just so relaxed. And, I've mentioned it a lot of times that my upbringing, like, it was almost like if you didn't get your way or whatnot, you just had to keep fighting harder for it. And, I've just been taught to work hard for it and let things go. And for me, I think that's where it's correlated on the field. I've never really had, allowed distractions to actually hinder my game. And, I think sometimes I look at the great late Shane Warne and the controversies that he had, and then went on the field and just took fifers for fun. I know they're a bit different to mine, but it's just something that when you're in that ring, that's your comfort zone. No one can touch you. It's your comfort blanket. So I think that I think it just makes it all better. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm just reflecting on what you just said. That whole old face, they're all here to see it. They all want it to happen. We as broadcasters want it to happen. I can't believe how much we as a cricket nation are going to miss you now that you're gone in that format. Best on ground at the party. Who was it? The party. So the party was you and Candace very generously threw the doors open at a pub in town, up in a little private area, and I had the good fortune of being there. But who did you rate? Who took over?
Well, I'll tell you who demolished all the prawns, Travis Head. And Marnus Labuschagne demolished all these hot dogs that were going around without the bun. But from a dance perspective, oh, wow. My wife was up there.
Yeah.
I think I have a mate that they call the Phantom Siren. His name is Ghosh, and he was unbelievable. He was on fire. He was almost like the guy out of what's that? Police Academy. just non-stop dancing, and he was awesome. But it was a great night.
David, can I just go back to the Phantom Siren, because I'm sorry, I didn't. You kindly invited me to the party, but I got locked into Little Jack's in Coogee with Big Laurie Colliver, our statistician, and I couldn't move. But I actually I got to hear the siren in the afternoon. Our cricket director Matt Weiss at Fox Sport, he rang the siren, and he gave us a siren on the table in Little Jack's. Yeah, he gave us a siren. Now he's the guy that does it at the rugby league. Is that correct?
Yeah, he famously stopped a game, or probably a decade ago, and 20 seconds ago, and the whole game just stopped, and no one knew what happened. And he was the one who let the siren off, and he's had this knack to just keep doing it. So now he gave me that little siren there at the end, and it was a sign off to that's full time.
Right.
I think we need the siren on the pod.
Yeah, we'll try and get the siren.
We'll get the siren on.
A little recorded clip, mate. You did all right yourself on the dance floor. Well, it wasn't the dance floor, mate. You're on the bloody table. That's courageous.
Well, going back heyday, I think they wanted the old bull back, so I gave them a little bit of that. It was actually kind of them to actually allow us to dance on the tables and the chairs, and it was like an open forum to showcase your dancing skills.
And that's why I didn't do it, because as a dancer, I'm a wonderful wicket keeper. Tones and I, Jesus, that's a good get. I walked the doors over, the elevator open. I walk out there just as she starts a set, and I thought, holy Jesus!
Wow!
I thought, it reminds me of my retirement party, which was in the foyer of the Hindley Park Royal with Club X next door. It was a step up in class for me, mate, to be there.
Yeah, what a great fitting. I think her story's been absolutely amazing as well, from busking on the streets for all those years, and then now, cream of the top and with some amazing songs, and she's broken a lot of records, and it was just fitting to have her there, and she absolutely loves the girls. She lives down near the brewery. I think they've been down there a fair few times, and we've been in touch for a little while, and I had no idea she was coming. Candace quite clearly surprised me there.
Really?
I did ask for the great Johnny Farnham, because everyone's saying it's my last tour. So obviously Johnny's a little bit sick at the moment, but that would have been fitting.
Yeah, that would have. He would have been good entertainment.
Hey, Dave, you mentioned the bull. It was about 18 months where you were the Reverend, weren't you? How frustrating was it being the Reverend?
I tell you what I did do. I did find a lot of. I was sort of preaching so much positivity around the guys that I was just seeing so many negative comments everywhere, and I was like, I don't think the guys like this. But I think I needed it for myself in terms of I got off the piss only purely because Candace was pregnant, and I said, I'll go 9 months with you, and then all of a sudden I just went 2 years because I just didn't feel like I needed a drink, and everyone just kept calling me the Reverend, because I kept on preaching a little bit of positivity here and there, and I was different on the field quite clearly, but I think that wasn't why it correlated from. I don't think it correlated from not drinking and being a nicer version of myself, because I think I'm still that person now. I haven't changed at all. But on the field, I think I explained it well the other day that you play so much IPL cricket, different franchise cricket with different people now, that there's no real, you don't really have that, hate's a bad word, but when you walk on the field, you dislike someone, there's none of that now, because you almost feel like you're a part of everyone's life now. So it's very difficult to actually get under someone's skin. So, you got to try and find something that they've probably, I don't know, they've gone and done something on the weekend that you've seen them go down the beach or something. And I don't know, something silly to try and get in their minds to make them smile and understand what you're saying. And yeah, it's very difficult now.
It was remarkable, the rapport between the two teams through this series. It was very evident, just the camaraderie and the friendship and respect that you guys have for each other. You're going to have to. You mentioned earlier, you still got some cricket to play in green and gold. World T20 coming up in the US in about June. I want to ask you about the group that Australia find themselves in. So I'm concerned. I want to know if you're going to be concerned by the time you get through the group stage to the knockout stage. Are you going to feel like you're underprepared still, because you've got a complete nation of minnows? You've got Oman, Scotland, Namibia and England are in your group. So you're not going to be tested at all by any of those minnow nations.
Hey, the Scots are pretty good.
Scotland, well, they're probably the next highest ranked team there. But I'm a bit concerned that you're not going to be prepared when you get to the knockout stage.
Look, it's going to be a challenge because it's another game of cricket, Gilly, and you have to get up. And I know you're in the Caribbean, and we're going to be in Barbados, and what's that place, Harbour Lights?
Oh, yeah.
You've got jet skis. You've got everything around you, so you've got a lot of distractions. So we're going to have to be on our game. But look, no, I'm going to treat every game seriously. And I think, I think if we do get to a position where people haven't had a bat and all that, I'm pretty sure we'll be mixing up the order like we've done that plenty of times in the past to make sure everyone's getting a hit or everyone's getting workloads under their belt. But we'll be doing our best to quite clearly beat them comprehensively.
Yeah, well, so like by the time you've knocked off all of them, by the time you play England, like you'd shuffle the order around, fool around, Zamps might open. You might have a trundle, get the leggies out.
Talking about the world champs here,
mate.
They're the champions.
Who?
England.
Oh Jesus, that was in another lifetime, mate.
That's
it's all turned to shit since then for him. But, no, that'll be good. So and IPL, that's you're over to you're off to Dubai, aren't you? Into the UAE.
Yeah, the IL T20. That's in a week, about 10 days time after the Big Bash finishes. Well, hopefully the Thunder win a couple more games and we can make the finals. Otherwise,
that's not happening.
Hey, you never know. You never know. We've got a couple of games we need to win, and we need some other teams to lose quite clearly. But look, I'm looking forward to Dubai. It's the stats now count towards your 2020 career. So there's a lot more to play for than just winning.
Yes, nice golf courses there as well, Dave.
Personal accolades.
It's sanctioned tournament now. It's in
now. Now the records go to your stats. Yeah.
Does that mean the dirhams that you get paid are taxable, or are they off the record still?
Is that the only place you can play in the world where you don't get taxed?
Where?
Still got to come back here, though, so I get taxed here, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's right. They don't miss.
Hey, Dave, just back to the test match. Have you ever seen a 10-minute stop in play for some tape before, 85 metres away from a batter?
Cannot believe. I was inside, and I was just like, what's going on here? They're panning to the side screen, then panning to the staff, and I thought it might have been that walkway race because everyone was coming out of there, and I understand that. But when they panned into this little piece of plastic, we just lost it in the change room because I know him and Marnus are fidgety and fussy, but you couldn't even. It was like the size of a coin. How can you see that from that far away? I honestly, I could not believe it. I was flabbergasted. That's Steve here.
What did you say to Steve when he came back in?
What more can distract you? Like that takes the cake. Absolutely takes. I remember playing a game. I can't remember who it was against, but MCG the top tier. Someone was moving. They were running up and down the stair race. And I was just like, how do you see that? How do you notice that it's like 100 metres in the air? The ball's coming out of the screen here. I don't know how people see that or notice it. Yeah. I just don't.
I remember at the MCG, similar sort of thing at the top back of the big stand. It was square of the wicket, and it distracted me. But that was because there was a couple up there shagging. So that caught my attention. Go to YouTube, you'll find the footage, but it's well worth a look. mate, the most often asked question, who's going to replace you? I'm going to read to you, I think Nathan Lyon, he just needs to learn to understand, think before he says something. He was asked by us on Fox Cricket, Lino, about who's going to replace you, and he says, clearly he thought Cam Green. He says, I don't want to put any pressure on him, but I feel like he could potentially go down as one of the greatest players to ever play for Australia. Not putting any pressure on him at all. So he thinks he should be at the top of the order. Where do you reckon the land? What's the lie of the land at the moment? What's the latest tip to fill your void?
Tell you what, it is like a bank vault. There has been no talk about it whatsoever, and I think it's a good thing. I don't know. I honestly, it's a tough one. You had Cameron Bancroft come out the other day and talk about traditionalist. I've spoken about, myself never opening and then making my way into that position. I just think if you're a quality cricket player, right, you will adjust, and the names that they've named are all quality cricket players, and they can all adjust to that position. So whoever does get it, I'm going to play the political card here. Yeah. Whoever does get it, I'm sure will adapt and do well.
That is a good point. Yeah. We're talking about the commentary and no dramas for bangers saying that, and I think Punter's been on the record saying it's got to be an opener. It's a hard gig, but we're talking about replacing a bloke that had never opened and changed the whole role and the landscape of it. Vaughany, I know you got one more, but just quickly, we've got to give these blokes an opportunity. I don't know, Ollie and Prof, are you still there? So Dave, we've got our normal host and our erstwhile producer. They're off-piste. One's up in Palm Cove, one's in Melbourne. But do you blokes want to jump in with anything at all? We're just totally wiping you like a dirty backside at the moment. Prof, you got your hand up there?
How good.
Yeah, good spot, Dave. Having a great time.
Good that you made your bed.
Yeah. I did.
Cleaners came in early.
No, I made that. There you go. Look at that. Very good job. And the children have left. I can see them down at the pool. My wife. So this podcast, if anybody asks, is going for the next 3 hours. So we'll see. There we go. Dave, I got a good one. I like to get in early and do my Christmas shopping. I've already started planning for 2024 Christmas, and I love buying people a book, a cricketing book. I've got lots of big cricket fans. Can I buy them the David Warner story? Is that something we're going to be seeing soon?
Well, potentially. I have to edit a few chapters now. There's a few that have been added. It was 1,500 pages. It's now probably 2,000. Not that many, but no, it's definitely one in the pipeline, and I think it'll be an interesting read. There's going to be a lot of things in that book that I think are going to raise some eyebrows.
There you go. Get the order in, Prof.
There you go. That's what I was hoping for. Ollie, you got one?
Yeah, I do. I was just reflecting on that Steve Smith. And as you say, Dave, incredible. He saw basically a coin in the distance when he didn't see a third fielder close in on the cover on the same day. It was absolutely remarkable. But it was what was great. I was in the ground that day, and the guy who picked up the tape literally did a lap of honour, high-fiving everyone, like drinking beers, the best groundsman ever. But Steve Smith is someone who's put his name forward and said he wouldn't be adverse to opening. How do you think he would go in that sort of scenario?
I think he would go well. He's he's the best Test batsman in the world. Like he just finds a way, and I think for Steve it's probably a challenge of it, which I think he probably wants to get into. He's ticked the box off where he is now. He probably just wants to see if he can go out and open. And I think the thing for him is he gets to face every ball that's possible. So he's put his hand up for one-day stuff, 2020 stuff, and he's quite clearly a very, very good and smart cricket player, so he'll adapt to any situation. But yeah, he'll do very, very well. And on the back of that other stuff that you were saying, only 2 people in the world have made Foxy Rover stop, him and Brody. Yeah. So one bowling and one batting. So, and in the field in the slips, he always bends down. He says he can see the Rover just going along the boundary rope when the bowler's running in. So I don't know what he's focusing on.
What did they stop the robot?
Stop the effing robot, I think it was.
Yeah. Hey, Dave, the other thing I wanted to ask you, is it true Uzi's mum calls you Satan?
Yeah, she calls me. It's Jatan, so it's the devil. So the devil child. As a kid, when we were playing cricket, my favourite thing was at tea time, I would make sure that cherries were brought so I could eat the seed and then throw them at the guys and I'd leave red cherries because, you know, when you mark the ball. So we couldn't mark the ball back then on our clothes because we weren't allowed. So I thought, all right, I'll get some cherries and throw them. So she used to call me the devil because she had to obviously soak the clothes all the time and she hated it. So did my mum as well. So, yeah, she's always called me the cheeky one. Yeah, but well, God bless her. She's a lovely, lovely lady, and our families both get along very, very well.
Paul, just I suppose a slightly more serious note in reference to the book that the Prof's clearly going to buy. You've got one sale there already. Do you feel, I don't care to know what you're going to say, but do you feel you need to give your full account of the whole, 2018 Cape Town saga, everything that was pinned, speculated on? Is this going to be your opportunity to say, right, this is how I saw it, my recollection of it?
Yeah, look, it's something that's been thought of. I think, you look down the track now where we are today, it is in the past and it does keep getting brought up. And, there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of comments about it. But from me, it's about, this team moving forward. It's really important that, the Australian cricket team's in a great space, that we're playing well in all three formats. And I think that's the utmost priority. My side of the story and all that, that could be told whenever. There's probably going to be some things that are in the book that are potentially or definitely going to be related to 2018.
Yeah.
But it's not potentially going to be around what I know, what others know, because then it just becomes a tit for tat, right? It's not that kind of story. I want it to be about my journey, my upbringing, and there's going to be a few things in there. You've got a lot of Joe Root saga. You got when I went back to Zimbabwe. There's so many different things in there. There's a lot of stories in there. So look, it'll be an interesting read, and when the time comes, we can all pick it to pieces.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be lacking in content, mate, and that's off the field and on the field going down as our greatest ever opening bat. So.
Yeah, Dave, I mean, we've got you on the pod to talk about your career, but we really want to talk about the big issues of the last week or so, really. I see you're in a room with a bit of memorabilia behind you. Is that the one-day shirt behind you I see on the wall? Is that right?
Yeah, that one's the Lil to Lords. That was the 2019. So quite clearly, it's which one's that one? Is that the T20? I'm trying to work out which one that is. That's the World Cup 2009. I think that's when you guys won. So that's not a memorable one for us, but that was more of a process that we had from back when we went to Anzac Cove, and in 2018 the guys went to Lil, and then it was making our way to Lords. So it was sort of like a big, huge window that we wanted to achieve as a team, and that was why that was significant. But yeah, there's heaps up there. Ashes retention, so we celebrate the retention because it's a hard thing to win in England.
Yeah. Even though it was a moral victory for England, it was a good effort by you guys. So I think we on the podcast actually need to say sorry to the Bison because, David, last week when your baggy greens went missing, we all said on this podcast, the Bison.
Yeah,
Mitchy Marsh, he's the one. He's the culprit.
The prankster.
So we'll say sorry to the Mitch. Give us the full story, Dave.
I actually read something today, and I have to actually speak to our security to actually get that story because that hadn't been told to me. So we looked everywhere. We had a lot of people in there that looked, and quite clearly, they're saying in the media. Ben Horn wrote the story that the bag was in the team room. So. There's a conversation to be had today because quite clearly the security team didn't find it. My wife, there's probably 10 or so others looking through every single bag that was in the team room. So there's going to be some conversations had today, that's for sure. That's the first I've heard of it.
Oh, so there might be a bit more mayo on this sauce.
Well, hang on.
This story.
Let's not apologise to the big Bison just yet. He might have been right in the guts.
Yeah, sorry. Let's just edit that last 2 minutes. Bison, it could still be you.
I tell you what, though, I was standing next to you when we interviewed you post-game, and there's a great story of your good mate Mark Junior War and his baggy green, where he did have it in a vault, a safe at home, and a fucking rat got in there and ate the whole thing. Yours looks like it's been gnawed on by a rat for sure.
Someone was trying to tell me that there's natural enzymes that, when we put beer on our hat, right? So then when you put it away in your little satchel, then there's natural enzymes that eat away at the fabric. So, look, I don't know. The front part of it was definitely when I bowled probably all of 8 overs in my test career, when the umpire used to take the clip off the front of the hat.
Yeah.
But that was when I used to field in short leg many years ago. And I think Starkey's got the same thing on his bowling cap. The front of his beak is identical to mine. And it's just sort of like peeling away. But that fabric, I think, was yours in Albion as well.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So that fabric you can't actually get anymore. So I just said, look, just let it wear away. And quite clearly it's wearing away.
You know what happened in the interim period between when you announced that the cap was missing to when you found it? I was contacted by a lovely lady, Louise, who runs Albion, the brand company that is Albion, who used to, and forever and a day, made the baggy green caps. But somehow before she turned up into that role, that the custodianship of making the baggy greens went across to Kookaburra. They bought the rights somehow from Coogee Australia, which whoever was at the wheel for Albion has absolutely fallen asleep there. But she reached out to me to let you know that they will happily make you a new original Albion baggy green cap, which
nice.
Which we don't need now because you've got the return.
Could she make me some? I'll sell them on eBay.
Mate, the tight skull cap of England. Do you have any? Is there any history and heritage with that, or do you guys just throw them around left, right, and centre?
It's just a fucking cricket cap. That's what it is.
Well, that's why you'll always be with Oman, Scotland, and Namibia, mate. That's exactly right.
Cricket cap.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Right, now, we've held you up a bit. I know you got to go down and pick up the girls from surfing lessons. And did you get on the board yourself, mate? Vaughany and his family had a crack down at the Coogee.
No. My kids did.
You did. I know your little knocky knees wouldn't do real well on the surfboard.
No, I like the coffee shops too much.
Do you have a surf yourself, Bull?
I don't have a surf. I've been to, I'll say nervous because I'm scared the board's going to hit me or I'm going to do a groin or something like that. So I was sticking to bodyboarding back in the day. I've taken my bodyboard out once, I reckon, in the last decade. Right, I body surf. I try and take the wife out there to try and beat her. But, quite clearly that ain't going to happen. No. I sink.
Hey, Dave, yesterday, I must admit, I was a bit hungover when the siren went off on the beach, but it was a bit alarming when the guy was shouting out about a shark.
Really?
Being seen around the Coogee.
It wasn't his mate, was it?
that was probably my brother-in-law. He's a lifeguard down there.
The old siren was up to his tricks on the beach.
If you hear that siren, you can get out of there. There's actually been some, I think there's like these shark deterrent things or whatever they are out there, or there might be some bait that they chomp and then they know that there's some sharks out there. So I wouldn't be swimming out there. I don't know how they do that island swim. You see people swimming out there. No thanks. No chance.
Thank you.
That is nasty, mate. We could sit here and chat forever because it's lovely to see you so relaxed and chilled out, and deservedly so. But what we do with our guests when we have them on, we finish off with a quick quiz, and it's typically revolves around the guest, around typically statistics and points of interest in their career, and somehow Vaughany and I get woven into it. But our producer Ollie runs it. I'm going to flick it over to you, Ollie. Have you got a moment, Bull, to stick around? We're all competing, you, Vaughany, and myself. Yeah. But if you got a couple more minutes, mate, I'm going to hand it over to Ollie. Take it away, buddy.
Fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, looking forward to this one. Going through all of your numbers, the three of you. Well, I think I know Vaughany's and Gilly's very well by now. We've done this about 25 times, but adding Davies in there is great. So you're all playing and you can basically jump in with whatever answer you think. And Prof is on scoring. So
got it.
Number one, what is higher, David Warner's test average against Pakistan, Gilly's test strike rate against the next opponents, the West Indies, or Michael Vaughan's strike rate in ODI cricket?
Oh, come on.
Well, it's not going to be the last.
Oh, come on. This is, again, I complained last week to HR about bullying.
Gee whiz.
This is gone. It's now gone into 2024.
Righto. Well,
Davies' test average against Pakistan, Gilly's test strike rate against the Windies, or Vaughany's strike rate in ODIs?
I was going to say my strike rate would have my average would have came down a little bit this series from that. So I'd have to say I will say Gilly.
Okay.
nah, yeah.
I'm going to go myself.
Although, good on you.
Well, I reckon it's in West Indies. How did you do against the West Indies?
All right.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll go you then.
No, as you said, Bull, it came down a fraction, but it was pretty lofty standards. 335
yeah,
go for one, and
yeah.
plus about 3 other hundred. So I'm going Bull versus Pakistan, average.
Okay, so we've got David Warner's test average against Pakistan at 73.9. We then have Gilly's test strike rate against the West Indies at 72.14. And Vaughany's strike rate in ODI is 68.3.
Oh, come on.
Good build up, Ol.
Jesus Christ.
I was going your actual strike rate average. So thumb up.
Well, who won that one? Who got that right?
Sorry.
So that was Dave Warner wins it, which Gilly got that right.
Right.
Yes, thank you.
So 0-1-1.
Yep.
0-0-0-1. Yeah, nothing for Vaughany Order. Good on the scoring. Okay, number 2. What is higher? The number of test 50s for Gilly or the number of sides listed on Cricinfo that Dave Warner has played for?
Oh,
Gee whiz.
Jesus.
Test 50s.
So
How many teams have I played for?
Yes, sides listed.
Is that including under 19s?
That on there, they show under 19s. They do, yeah.
So that'd just be Australian under 19. I would have. Did you did that?
But it's just more. That could be a technicality.
Yeah, no, it's a good question.
I'm going to go D Warner teams.
So how many? You've only had the two. Have you only had the 2 IPL teams?
Don't tell him, Dave. He always does this.
No.
I was actually watching
Delhi, Sunrisers.
I was watching Brad Hodge do this the other day, and he forgot that he played IPL.
He did.
He had to name his teams, and he forgot he played IPL. And I was like, "You forgot a team that didn't pay you, apparently."
Yeah. Yeah. Back in the early days, Hodge got me out in the IPL at the Wanderers. Mate, I tried to hit him over the roof.
What did he bowl? Off his.
I reckon I've played probably 18 teams.
Yeah. I'm going Davies teams. What are you going, Bull?
I'm going the same. I reckon I've played around 18 different teams.
Oh, well, hang on.
Oh, you must have got more than 1850.
How many Test 50s you got?
Well, I got 1700s.
That's a stat you should know.
1700s, and typically you get about half. No, sorry, twice as much. No, me. I'm going me.
Okay. Gilly's locking.
Are you all going Gilly?
I'm going to go D Warner because I know how Ollie does these quizzes.
I send them to you before. That's why.
Yeah.
We've got Gilly has got 26 Test 50s, and Dave Warner's got 27 sides listed.
27. There you go.
27. Bloody hell! You don't need your baggy greens when you've got another 27 teams.
There you go.
So how many WhatsApp groups are you in?
Yeah.
I literally went through it the other day. I've got off nearly all of them.
Bloody hell. Classic. Righto.
By the way, Dave, just on that quickly. So the WhatsApp test group, are you off now?
No, because what happens is the same group comes back up when you go back into the 1 day or the 2020 stuff. So it's just like, otherwise, if you don't get off it, then everyone just stays on there. Then there's like 80 people.
So you will get removed now until the T20s start again?
Yeah.
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 So it says remove D Warner.
Dave Warner left.
I love that.
Righto, question 3.
Number 3. What is higher? The number of sixes hit by Dave Warner in T20 cricket, not including internationals, or the number of runs hit by Vaughany in T20 cricket?
Oh, again, this is just bullying.
I reckon I've hit over 300 sixes. Surely got more than 300 runs.
Yeah.
in T20 cricket?
In T20 or in, what was the question on? What's
Yeah, so
T20.
the amount of sixes in T20 or the amount of
Oh,
runs?
no, Warner.
Yeah.
D. Warner.
Yep. Definitely.
I'll have the same me.
Vaughany, 319 runs. He only played a few games, but Dave Warner, 421 sixes.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Jeez, oh.
That's a lot.
See, I'm not even close to my stats.
No.
Where's Laurie?
You don't read the info, clearly. We're going to stay on sixes, actually, because this one, you two, a lot of people talk about some of the most exciting players to ever play the game. So, who hit more sixes for Australia? Was it Gilly in tests and ODIs, or Dave Warner in ODIs and T20 internationals?
Ooh. What was mine? Just test?
You were testing ODIs. Davey is ODIs and T20 internationals.
I'm going to go Gil Church.
100.
The 100 against England, you hit almost 100.
Yeah.
Who was it? I can't remember who it was.
Monty.
Monty.
Monty
That's right,
Paksitan.
Monty.
Yeah, just throwing them up for him. And, there you go. There you go, Gilly. I'll let you hit it with the doctor in Perth. No problem. I'll toss it up a bit higher.
I'll say Gilly, because I don't reckon. I played 99 T20 internationals. I reckon I've hit probably 1-6. If I go 1-6 a game, there's 99. So I reckon Gilly.
Oh, yeah. I'll go with me.
Dave Warner has hit 235 sixes in ODIs and T20s. Gilly has hit 249 sixes in Test and ODIs. So, yes.
Good slog in that.
Gilly. So, I think he scored a 333, I believe.
What did Vaughany go on that last one? Did he go Gilly?
Gil Church.
3-3-3.
Gil Church, yeah.
3-3-3.
Okay, the final question. We have a tiebreaker if we need it. It's number 5. Which is higher? I enjoyed this one. You're obviously all known, fantastic batsman, keeper and stuff, but also you did some tweaking. So what's higher? Vaughany's test wickets, Dave Warner's test wickets, or the amount of times Gilly caught Vaughany out in test cricket?
I'm going my wickets.
Vaughany, you locking yourself?
I don't reckon you caught me out much. I was bowled more often than not.
How's the sound effect on that clip that we ran from last week's one when you were off pole, we were ripped out at Lords?
Oh, yeah, again my legal team are all over that.
So what was first? Vaughany's test wickets, Bull's test wickets?
Yep, or the amount of times you caught Vaughany.
Bull can't have
I'll go Vaughany's wickets. So I didn't get many.
No, I didn't either, but...
Yeah,
I don't think you caught me out often, did you?
I caught you at the Oval and maybe Trent Bridge. So
That's a good ball, that, Trent Bridge.
Trent Bridge, yeah.
That was a Jaffa from Ponting.
You're all going Vaughany.
That's how we were travelling.
Yeah,
that punter.
Just every now and again you get an unplayable from Ricky Ponting.
So, all on Vaughany.
Is
So
that
no
Bull
result.
on that? Is that didn't Pat Cummins in that first innings in Sydney? He got the good leaning jowler from Jamal, shortened him up, and then he went full and hit him on the full LBW. Did he say something the next day about, okay, guys, sometimes we all get a good one?
Yeah, he said, "Well done to well done to all the batters, and sometimes you get a good one."
Missed it by a foot and hit him on the knee roll. I'm going Vaughan wickets.
Yeah, everyone's going Vaughany.
Everyone's got. So we've got Dave Warner with 4 test wickets. We've got Gilly caught Vaughany 5 times.
T.
Hang on.
T, I'll ring you back in 5.
Come on, mate, it's a finish.
Cheers. Ciao.
Ruling in answers. Yeah, Dave Warner's test wickets, 4 of them. Gilly caught Vaughany 5 times in test cricket, but Vaughany took 6 test wickets. So
you're all right. 4-4-4.
Who were your 4 poles, Bull?
Kirk Edwards was my first. He opened the batting for West Indies.
That's a good one.
He recently played in the Legends League.
Yeah.
Fidel Edwards, same game.
Another good one.
Long on.
Some big
That's
names.
a very good one. And then Darren Bravo in Dominica
Not
turned bat pad. And then number 1 batter at the time, best player spin, Adelaide Oval, Hashim Amla stumped.
Hashim Amla.
The Amla. What a player he was.
That's a scalp.
What a player.
Yep. It was a half volley that he missed, so.
Hags whipped him off, did he?
No, Matthew Wade caught it just in his not his mitts.
Caught it in the wrist.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Right. So who wins that?
So no, well, we've got a tiebreaker.
4-all.
4-all.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to go back to sixes, and I am going to include Vaughany. Closest one wins. How many sixes did Vaughany hit across all three formats? Tests, ODIs, and T20 internationals?
2, I'm going with.
2.
You'll find
16.
quite a few in Test cricket.
2, 16. Vaughany, what are you locking in?
What was his numbers?
How many sixes? We've had Gilly said 2. We had 16 from Davey Warner.
No, I'm going at least 32.
Vaughany with another win. 35 massive sixes.
Massive ones. Huge.
Rubbish.
Absolute monster.
Well, at least you can't remember 250. You can remember 35.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the King bowled me a couple of nice full bungers at Adelaide. When the boundaries were really small square.
Very small.
Well done.
So Vaughan wins.
Vaughan wins.
Another win, Ollie. Well done, Ollie.
Well done, mate.
Thanks for sending me the answers, pal.
Fantastic. Davey, in all seriousness, mate, congratulations. Brilliant career. Enjoy the accolades that come your way. They're thoroughly deserved. Enjoy what is going to be an amazing period in your life, mate. I promise you, I think Vaughany and I can speak from experience. We know we're blessed to have played the game we play, but that life only gets better from here on in. It really does. And enjoy the fact that you're going to be able to hold your head high wherever you go around the cricketing world, and everyone will come up, put their arm around you, and enjoy a drink with you, and celebrate what's been a remarkable career, mate. Thanks so much for joining us on Club Prairie Fire, bud.
Thanks, gents. Really appreciate it. I look forward to asking those hard questions as well to other people next year.
Dave, can you just do us a favour in the book? If you could just put one paragraph saying that the best podcast that you've ever been on is the Club Prairie Fire, because we haven't got any sponsors.
Well, can I?
Okay.
I was just going to say, Dave, I've just noticed your shirt is a brewery. St Andrews Beach Brewery is your beer.
Hey, we're more than happy to send these guys up some stuff. We've got some growlers as well if you want them.
Growler?
Big, huge flask things.
What about a sponsorship deal, Dave? I mean, we're not desperate or anything, but
we'll take anything.
I'll have to put that forward to the board, which I sit on. So I might have a person at the table.
I actually did. We did Wadi Makram a few months ago, and I did that from St Andrews Beach Brewery. That was where I was sitting live after.
Awesome!
So there we go.
There you go. You had a taste of it.
Right. Well, it's remiss of me not to do this. I nearly forgot, but the whole podcast was formed and formulated around a drink called Prairie Fire. It is tequila and Tabasco, and we always toast the guests. So it's just Vaughany and I here solo. Cheers, mate.
Well done, Davey.
Fine
Cheers,
career.
Dave.
Cheers, gents.
Just to let everyone know, we're recording this at 9:20 and we're having tequila.
That's brilliant. I love it.
Righto. Prof, do I need to do anything else to sign this off, or do we put this to bed?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
All that's left to do is say thanks, Dave. Amazing. And please follow us at Club Prairie Fire on everything. Twitter, X, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere you can and anywhere you will. So thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back next week.
There's no Twitter.
X. We're still in old money on this show.
And I love the optimism from Prof. We will be back next week. Adios. Good night. That's enough.
Yeah, it's all right.
See you later.
Goodbye.
Well, remarkably, you've watched the show. Thank you. That's all I can say. And if you really like it, press something, I don't know, something on the screen, press it, or subscribe. That'd be really handy. It'd be really nice. Thank you.